would this place be without all of this? I don't even want to call it drama. What would this place be without all of the extras, without all of the beautiful stuff that we get to call extras within our circles, within our livelihoods? I also absolutely love the fact that here in South Africa, we expect to see a lot of things that just take us aback or take us by surprise. There's just so much happening in our very own country that when we look even further afield at other countries, we're like, that's all right. But I mean, up in Mzansi, we've seen worse. I mean, we're a country that, as much as we have a lot of challenges, our resilience is up there. I couldn't say it isn't. I'd be lying. We are a people who are survivors, but now we need to be a people of resolve. We need to be a people of solutions. And maybe we also need to be a people that aren't associated with crime, poverty, and the things like gender-based violence that push all of our positive attributes to the background, because we still have all these negative aspects that we carry. But nevertheless, I think it all comes with us acknowledging where we stand in the global positioning of things and how and what we want to improve within ourselves. I think that's always the greatest starting point. Anyway, moments in current affairs. Let's get straight into it. Obviously, on the back of the most recent local government elections, still a lot happening in the world of results that come from the political sphere, and also just the outcomes and plans that people still have to make. The DA leader, John Steenhuisen, made remarks after the party's federal executive meeting on Sunday, after the 2021 local government elections left 61 municipalities with no outright winner. The party maintains it will not work with the ANC or the EFF under any circumstances. He says, we will not be entering into any coalition agreement with the EFF or ANC or any other party that does not subscribe to constitutionalism, the rule of law, the social market economy, a capable state of non-racialism. These are non-negotiables for the Democratic Alliance. We learned to our own detriment what happens when you try to enter into agreements with parties that don't share these core fundamentals, said Steenhuisen. The party is of the view that getting into coalition with ANC would be handing it a lifeline on a silver platter after plunging the country into difficulties. It is not the DA's job to save the ANC. That's not what our voters want. It's not what our mission is as a party. Our job is to save South Africa. The two are not compatible. Okay, so he says we can have a growing economy, a country that works, a capable administration that delivers, jobs for people, and municipal service delivery, but you cannot have that with the ANC. The last 20 years have shown that. Steenhuisen would not go into reasons behind his refusal to work with the EFF. The party said it wants to form stable coalitions that are able to govern and govern well for all South Africans in the hung municipalities, but it is not desperate for control. This after the last Auditor General report found most municipalities to be on the brink of collapse. There is a crisis in municipalities around the country of failing service delivery, and it is having real consequences on the lives of South Africans. Jobs are being lost as a result, and the poor service delivery opportunities are being wasted due to corruption. So this is why they say they will just not be able to go into coalition with the African National Congress. More of that to be seen. And to see how they might then find themselves positioning themselves then with other allegiances, should we say. A man has been left feeling outraged after he was informed that his face was being used on a bunch of African National Congress election posters. According to the man, he did not register with any South African political party and certainly did not sign up to be a councillor. Imagine being called and congratulated for signing up to be a ward councillor when you did no such thing. One such South African does not have to imagine after this is exactly what happened to him. According to the man, he was informed by a friend of his that his picture was all over the community on an ANC election poster. According to the poster, the man in question, Hlakanipho Mthethwa, was running to be the councillor of Mlalazi, something he wholeheartedly denies. Now, the reports that the man was attending his mother's funeral when he was called by a friend who made him aware of the posters. He says, I got a call informing me that my photograph was on the posters as an ANC candidate. I was shocked at the news because I had never registered with any political party and I have no intention of becoming a councillor. The publication also reports that the actual candidate who was up for elections confirmed that he was aware of the matter, but he refused to comment on the situation. Meanwhile, Mthethwa has confirmed that he has pressed charges against the party for fraudulently using both his name and photograph during the election campaign and the campaigning process. That must be quite something. Both somebody else is calling you like, bruh, I was such a funding that you are running for council. Anywho, eThekwini municipality is allegedly the biggest polluter in the province, according to answers to questions the Democratic Alliance posed in the KZN legislature recently. This comes as Durban Harbour is again awash with raw sewage. Heinz de Boer, member of the provincial legislature and DA-KZN spokesperson on economic development, tourism, and economic environmental affairs, said on Monday that according to a reply the party had received in provincial legislature, eThekwini municipality had received most compliance notices in the government. But, he says, according to the reply from the KZN Economic Development, Tourism and Environmental Affairs, Ravi Pillay, of the 34 compliance notices and directives issued under the National, the NEMA Act, eThekwini has received 12 warnings, all 12 relating to crumbling municipal infrastructure. Aibo. The list of offenders includes ongoing issues with the Blackburn Pump Station, Paradise Valley Sewage, Ispingo River, Umbilo Canal, and Umgeni River in eThekwini municipality. De Boer said that KZN was a province with tourism and massive job creation potential that remained underdeveloped. He said the DA would continue to push for errant officials to be criminally prosecuted in eThekwini. He says it is unacceptable that MEC Pillay and KZN's EDTEA portfolio committee remain toothless in this battle. So the post-election preparations for angles of attack have begun. This is going to be interesting because these are the times where people's accountability starts being called into question, especially newly appointed members who will then have to deal with this new temperature very quickly. Still in Durban, KwaZulu-Natal Premier Sihle Zikalala said he is confident that law enforcement agencies will find and prosecute the perpetrators of political violence. The province saw a few incidents of violence during election campaigns and around the voting day. In some areas, community members prevented voters from making it to voting stations, and Zikalala said those responsible will not go unpunished. Zikalala said those who intimidated voters needed to pay the price. Even in a few incidents where political leaders were assassinated ahead of the elections, we remain very confident that the law will indeed take its full course, said Zikalala. He said the provincial government would support measures to prosecute perpetrators because even one murder is just too many, and that's why we say we will continue to follow and ensure that it takes the law and its full course, he said. Zikalala has also called for a working relationship between parties as the province has 21 hung municipalities. Is that a call to also, put peace ahead of everything and also service delivery ahead of everything, synergy ahead of everything? But is this something that can happen with the current temperature, working with the political parties involved in our nation? ANC negotiators have been sent to coalition talk armed with framework which outlines various options that the party is considering, including swapping municipalities with potential partners. Yay! The ANC's National Executive Committee meeting at the weekend adopted several possible coalition scenarios in all hung municipalities, according to NEC members who attended the meeting. These scenarios include, according to the insiders, include grand coalition among parties where agreements would be reached regarding budgets, government of local unity between the big parties and smaller parties, biggest party cooperating with other parties who would conform a transactional voting pool, a swap arrangement between bigger parties where they would support each other in taking control of each municipality. In each municipality, we will look at the variety of factors, and then we'll be able to say which scenario will be able to apply. So ANC negotiators are scheduled to meet with their counterparts from the IFP today and discuss coalitions, especially in the Hang Gauteng metros, where the IFP have seats to tilt the balance of power towards the Luthuli House. At the weekend, the IFP, which have 7 seats in the Joburg and 3 in Ekurhuleni, said it would not work with the ANC. IFP's treasurer and leader of negotiation, Narendra Singh, confirmed that they will be meeting the ANC tomorrow from and onwards about coalitions except in KZN. We are talking to the ANC for other areas, but we will be talking to other parties, he said. And the EFF, which the ANC has already met, has demanded a municipality to run an exchange of propelling ANC into power in some of the metros, another NEC member told the Sowetan. Interesting stuff. And finally, further afield in this beautiful continent of Africa, Sudan's top general and military general, General Abdel Fattah Burhan, has promised that he will not hold a government position in the upcoming July 2023 elections. He makes this statement weeks after he had collapsed the transitional government in the globally condemned group. The military leader has on several occasions promised to hand over power to an elected civilian government in the future. His announcement will, however, not prevent other top generals from ripping off their military titles to become candidates. The military leader expressed his commitment to a peaceful transition and election. He says, "We will honor our pledge, the pledge we made to the people and the international community that we are committed to completing the transition, holding the elections as scheduled, and to respect all political activities as long as they remain peaceful and in line with the Constitution and the active parts of the Constitutional Declaration." At least 14 demonstrators have been killed, about 300 wounded, and another displaced through the anti-coup protests since the 25th of October power grab by the army. That there brings us to the end of our current affairs. Just some of those items that might touch, might tickle, and might disturb, but nevertheless inform us and keep us all coming back for that kind of information that is going to help us analyze our situation a little bit better and also understanding what's happening a little bit further afield.